Welcome, in today's subreddit of, I Don't Work Here Lady. We're going to be taking a look at 3 top-notch stories. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. This first story was posted by Hyper Game Guy, so a big shout out to them. With the title of, I'm Calling the Owner. Let's get straight into the story. There was this little restaurant I go to. It's a nice little pub with really cheap food and really friendly staff. They also have a shuffleboard table, and that's where this story begins. I was on my lunch break from my actual job. I'm a manager, so I usually have to wear nice polos or button-up dress shirts. Anyway, I'm eating my lunch while playing shuffleboard with myself. The bar is being overrun by a bunch of people and the poor bartender was all on her own. There weren't any employees helping with the tables out in the dining room. I personally know the bartender, so I come up and ask if she needed any orders taken to any tables. She smiled at me and pointed to the plates that were on the serving tray. Those go to the table in the corner, she said as she continued making drinks. I nodded and took the tray and made way over to the table and served them. This one lady we'll call Karen, she had the I want to talk to your manager style haircut, looks at me and scoffs. Karen, I have never seen it take this fucking long for me to get a goddamn sandwich. Me, sorry for that hon, but she's been really busy at the bar. I say, pointing to my friend. Karen, I know, and yet you just sit at the shuffleboard table and eat your fucking burger while you let her drown. What kind of manager are you? I raise a brow before remembering how nicely I'm dressed. Seeing she believed I was a manager there, I replied pretty normally. Me, oh, don't work here, she. Karen cuts me off.
Don't try to bullshit your way out of this, I've heard enough. I'm calling the owner of this place right now and letting him know how much of a fuckwit you are.
At this point I'm trying to explain how I was just trying to help, but she had her phone out and called the guy who owned the pub. Every time I tried to explain this to her, she just flipped me off. I rolled my eyes and just walked back to the bar, telling my friend about the woman. Friend.
Oh yeah, she's some entitled bitch that comes in here every other day. She keeps complaining and trying to get everyone in trouble. She found out my boss's name and searched his number up in a phone book, so if any of us try to tell her something she doesn't like, she calls the boss. He usually just tells us to let her eat for free and get her to leave.
Like I said, I'm a manager, so when I heard that I could tell that wasn't a good idea. If you give problem customers free things, they're just going to come back causing more problems, expecting it to get them more free things. I go back to playing on the shuffleboard and eating my burger and I see Karen storming up to me. Karen.
I told him you were sitting here playing shuffleboard instead of helping your employee. He's on his way up here to fire you.
Me, that's gonna be really hard for him to do since I don't work here, you stupid bitch. Karen. She got red in the face and she reached over and slapped me, now screaming.
How dare you say that to me? I will fuck up your whole life, you waste of filth. Now, I'm a simple man, and I was raised to never hit a woman. But I'm a 2nd degree black belt in Taekwondo and a 1st degree black belt in Hapkido. I don't need to hit her to make my point. She goes to slap me again and I catch her wrist, pulling it in behind her back and kicking out both her feet to bring her to her knees. She couldn't move in this position without pain shooting up her arms and neck. Believe me, I've been locked in this position before. At this point the whole pub has turned to see the commotion and my friend has come over to me. Friend.
Jesus, are you okay?
Karen.
Let me go. I am going to get you fucking arrested and I will sue you so hard you'll be lucky to be living in a cardboard box.
I asked my friend if she could get me some zip ties. Once she gets me some, I fashion out some male shift handcuffs and restrain her. At this point the owner walks in and sees this. Owner.
Holy shit, what happened?
Karen.
Your stupid manager assaulted me is what happened. I am suing him and you and your business for this.
Owner.
He doesn't work for me, he's a regular here lady.
Karen got bright red in the face, but she sat there and stayed quiet now. I think she realized what kind of trouble she was in. After a few moments the police arrived and I explained the events that unfolded to both the owner and the police. My friend backed me up on all of it, despite Karen trying to deny it. The police officer asked if I wanted to press charges for assault and I said gladly. She was sent away in a police car and no one has seen her since. This next story was posted by OB103 Ninja, so a big shout out to them. With the title of, Lady recognizes me from work and demands I run her an errand. Let's get straight into the story. I live in a town in the Great Lakes region where the quality of people has been going down since we moved here well over a decade ago, so I figured something like this was inevitable, but I'm still surprised it happened to me as it's next level stupid. I was at Walmart getting more propane for my outdoor burner I used to melt bismuth metal, as making its crystalline state is one of my minor hobbies. As I was finishing getting it paid for at the sports section register, a lady, calling her DL for dumb lady, came up to me and asked,
I know you from M's.
Nicknaming the store for ambiguity.
Since you work there, could you run out there and get me some things?
This is Walmart. Walmart. Me, I'm sorry but I don't drive yet, and our store doesn't do delivery anyways. Also this is Wal.
DL, I have no time to run out, I need you to get me groceries.
I'm at this point not sure how to properly respond. I have a very minor form of autism that only seems to affect my face-to-face social skills. I was raised like any other child to combat this, which I'm happy my parents did. I try my best however to calm the situation before it actually goes anywhere. Me, ma'am, I don't mean to be rude but I'm not your personal grocery errand runner. I should have started with something else.
DL, I don't care, get me my groceries or I'll call the effing police or something.
Wait, what? Guy at the sports register overhears at that exclamation and realizes the two of us look nothing alike, and I'm assuming he knows immediately at this point what's going on, as if he's dealt with it before. Apparently because he did. We'll call him GG for good guy. GG.
Miss, please back off before I involve management. This is the second time this week.
DL snaps her head into his direction like a banshee.
Tell this man to go and get me my groceries.
Hold on. First off, she knows me from a different chain, and now she's yelling at a Walmart employee to make me go to said chain and get groceries for her there? Me, ma'am, you're literally at a grocery store right now. Can you please stop causing a scene? You're making me more uncomfortable than I already am. DL.
No. This place has bad service anyways. You know what, I'm speaking to the manager and getting both of you fired.
GG and I exchange the most flabbergasted faces. GG.
He doesn't work here, miss. I don't know what you're going on about but...
DL.
Shut up, you SOAB. I'm getting your manager.
DL runs off screaming profanities to who knows where. GG and I continue to stand with our jaws hanging. Sure, this town sucks, but this lady is a vacuum. Since I have my groceries paid for and in a bag, I speedwalk to the car and my dad comes by a minute later, and we get in and leave. I didn't want the confrontation to escalate any further, but I hope nothing bad happened after I left. I never heard anything new from that particular scene after that day. I spotted DL a few days later at work from the other end of the building, and she looked like she was hunting me down like a sniper of some sort. I slip out DL's field of view and tell a manager about the previous confrontation with her, and they say I can help out in the back room until she leaves. Later I hear DL found our management and began screaming nonsense at them, and she eventually got physical and started pushing them, at which point DL was arrested and banned. I haven't seen her since. Management was reluctant to believe me about her at first because of just how stupid someone would have to be to do what she did, but they bought all of it after that. I tried asking what DL said to them, but they said to just not worry about it as they handled it all already. And no, nobody in this story was injured. I don't scar easy, but this stuck well in my head. I don't retell it much, but it's a fun story to tell in larger groups to get a wider reaction. This next story was posted by PLS Don't Know Me, so a big shout out to them. With the title of, Apologize to Your Aunt and That Boy Immediately. Let's get straight into the story.
A little background, I'm not white, nor American, and my culture is very concentrated on respect, especially in family hierarchy. So, I'm in a smallish appliance store, wanting a pair of headphones. I start looking around for an employee who can get some keys. I see my niece, who is 2 or 3 years younger than me. To be technical, she's my first cousin, once removed, one of my cousin's daughters, either way, lower than me in the hierarchy, in the store, who I catch eyes with. I hadn't seen her for years. I could have gone say hi, but I wanted the headphones first. But I shoot her a smile, small wave, then continue my search for an employee. I also see her parents, but they don't see me and I don't try and say hi. I find one. I flag the employee down, they come to me, they ask what I want, I tell them, and before the employee can do anything further, my little brat of a niece calls across the store.
Hey, you two shouldn't be chatting while you're working and you should be helping your customers.
Honestly? I'm a little shocked that she's looking directly at me. And then I'm a little pissed. Because A, our culture. And B, I don't even work there.
Ma'am, she doesn't work here.
The poor employee says. My cousin, her mom, turns around, probably wanting to know what was going on.
Then how come she smiled at me when I walked in, huh?
My bratty niece asks, sounding smug. I don't work here, I start to tell her, I'm cut off. By her mom, also known as my cousin.
Brat's name, you will apologize to your auntie and that boy immediately.
But
now.
Everyone who was in the store is definitely watching. My brat niece is bright red. She's almost ready to cry. She apologizes. Then my cousin yells at her to go the car and she pretty much runs out. My cousin then apologizes to us both, a whole lot more sincerely than her daughter, insists that she buys my headphones, which I tell her isn't necessary because they're about $150, and she deadass gives me over $700 in cash saying it was going to be for her daughter's laptop and then leaving.